everybody, it's Ramona here from Connect Your Angels with the weekly Oracle card reading. I hope you guys are having a great May so far. I can't believe this is going to be our last reading for May for the week of May 26th through to June 1st. This week I'm going to be working with the Indigo cards, and so we'll do like we always do, draw 3 cards, one for the beginning of the week, one for the middle of the week, and one for the end of the week. And before I get started, I just want to show off my beautiful necklace that my family gave me for Mother's Day. So you guys know I love shiny and sparkly things. So this totally is me, and it has a beautiful moonstone here, and this is a blue topaz. So really great for the throat chakra for you guys who are working on that area. So anything that's a blue, light sky blue color, that is great for your throat chakra. So just to let you know about that. So anyway, enough of my sparkly stuff. We'll get started. And look, I'm actually working with some blue cards this week too. So I will shuffle and we'll get started, okay? Let's pick one for Monday. And this one wants to be for the middle of the week. And one more. Okay, and we'll see what we have here. Okay, so the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday. The card is self-care. Self-care. I don't know if you can see that. And first, I should also mention, I really wanted to do this video outside. It is a beautiful day out here today, and unfortunately, the construction and landscaping noise was just too much. My neighbors are getting their landscaping done right now, and so I don't know what machinery they're using, but man, it is loud. So sorry about that, guys. I will try to get outside for next week's reading. Okay, anyway, back to the self-care. And the reason why I said that was because part of self-care can be things like just getting outside, you know, taking some time for yourself, out in nature, by grass, by water, by trees, by flowers, whatever that looks like to you. You know, if you don't live in an area that has that stuff readily available, even if you have a little balcony, or you can bring in some kind of a potted plant or something of that nature, that is a great way to actually indulge in self-care, because when we connect with nature, we get centered, we ground ourselves. It's a way to free ourselves from the stress and the crazy mind chatter that we have going on in our mind all the time. So it is a great way to sort of escape temporarily from some of that stuff. So think of self-care as things that you like to do. You know, that doesn't have to be a big input of your money or your time. You know, taking a bath with some sea salt in it. You've heard me say this before. Is so super detoxifying, and our body needs that because, you know, our kidneys and our liver do a pretty good job as our body's detoxifiers, but we are bombarded every day by stuff that comes to us in our environment. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the products we use, it's everywhere. So if you can take a bath with some sea salt in there and purify your body that way, great. If you feel like a bath is just too much commitment, you know, you really don't have time for that, then get a basin, fill it up with some hot water, put the sea salt in there, and at least soak your feet for 10-15 minutes, because the toxins will be drawn out through the bottoms of your feet, so you can still do that way, okay? So things like that, you know, that, go outside for a walk, go for a bike ride, think of what you like to do as a kid, play some board games with your family, you know, go to the salon and get your hair done, you know, whatever self-care feels and looks like to you, just try to remember that you are just as deserving of that as anybody else. But, you know, for some reason we kind of have it in our mind that, you know, we're the last person after everything else is taken care of, and then we will look after ourselves. But, you know, that never happens, right? So you need to take the time out for yourself, because if you aren't at your best, how are you going to be able to help anybody else, especially if you have a family, right? So think about that for Monday and Tuesday. Into the middle of the week, we have pray, and I love this. You know, you do not have to be affiliated with any religion to pray. I was raised Lutheran, and I was very, you know, I went to church, I was in the youth group, I was confirmed, I was an acolyte, I did all that stuff, but I don't associate myself with a religion. But I feel like prayer is still vitally important, because it's our way of connecting with spirit, with whatever our beliefs are. And especially it's important when you are worried about something, okay? And I know a lot of you out there are worriers, okay? Like chronic worriers. The thing with worry is it has a vibration, and its vibration is very low vibration. It's on par with emotions like anger, resentment, guilt, sadness, depression. All of those emotions carry a very low vibration. Now, when you're vibrating in that range, you can't manifest or bring into your life all the wonderful and beautiful, great things that you deserve and want. So you have to try to change your vibration. And one way you can do that is when you're worried about something, turn it instead into prayer. Prayer has a huge, high, lovely vibration. And so you just have to say, God, angels, whatever your beliefs are, please help me with whatever it is you're worried about. And that will turn that worry into a prayer and change the whole energetic around it. And not only that, but then you're invoking all your spiritual team. You know, you've got your angels, you've got the archangels, you've got your deceased loved ones, the ascended masters. All of that help is now getting to work for you. So you're not there all by yourself, just you and your worry having the staring contest, right? Now you've got all this wonderful help you've asked for, and they can get to work to help you with whatever it was that you were worried about. So in the middle of the week, especially if something challenging comes up, remember to take a few minutes to pray. And it doesn't have to be in any special way. You know, like I said, just simply saying, God, angels, whatever, please help me with. That is actually a prayer. So you don't have to like pull out your old, Bibles or, things from when you maybe went to church years ago and try to remember how to pray. It's just speaking from your heart. That's really all it is, okay? Boy, do we have a theme here. End of the week, love yourself. That fits in very nicely with our self-care piece, right? Love yourself. A lot of people have a mindset that's a really subliminal, behind-the-scenes soundtrack voice that tells them things like, well, who am I to think that I deserve that? Or who am I to think that I should have that? Or who am I to think I could earn that kind of money? Or who am I to think I could drive that kind of car or take those kinds of vacations or be happy or whatever. And, the angels are there to tell you that who are you not to have those things? You are just as deserving of that and more as anybody else is. But if you aren't open to receiving them, then those gifts cannot be delivered to you. So it all comes down to knowing you are worthy and you are deserving, okay? And that's where the love yourself comes in. You need to look at yourself through the eyes of the angels, because when they look at you, they see you with unconditional love, right? There's nothing you could ever do, say, think, or feel that's going to change their mind, right? They're not going to look at you and go, oh, I don't know, she's put on a few, so we can't help her out anymore, or, oh, she did this or did that or whatever. I mean, it doesn't work that way. They love you unconditionally, and they would love for you to change places with them so that you could look at yourself through their eyes and see how they love you and see you for who you are, which is this perfect and whole child of God. So they really want to reinforce that. So make sure if you struggle with that and you really don't believe that you are worthy or that you are open to receiving or any of those things, that's going to create some blocks and challenges for you in your life, and you might be seeing that already, actually. If you are seeing that and you feel like this is a big challenge for you, or it's there and it's sort of self-sabotaging you and everything that you're trying to do, then I urge you to tell me more about that. I actually have a URL. You can go to tiny, TINY, URL.com/angel application, and you can tell me there about what it is that's challenging you, and just hit the send and it'll go right through to me, and there might be a way that I can support you with that. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. Okay, so looking back over the week again, we have self-care for Monday and Tuesday. We have praying. Okay, praying is a form of self-care, because again, if you're worried, that's not good for you. So taking care of yourself includes ridding yourself of that worry, anxiety, and fear. So you can pray and then make sure you are really loving yourself. Really go out and do something special for yourself. You deserve it. You know, you really do. And actually, here's what they're saying too. And I do this. I actually have a file in my computer that I call I Rock. And when I get nice things that people have said about me or testimonials or, you know, I even have a paper folder too. If people send me a card or something like that or a little note or whatever, I put it in there. Because, you know, we all have those days where, you know, things don't go to plan. We might doubt ourselves. All these crazy ego thoughts come into our head. And on those days, I will pull out my file that says, hey, I rock. And I will read those things to myself out loud. And it does serve to reinforce that, you know what? I am pretty special, you know, and we all are. We all are here for a purpose. We all are here to share a certain gift. And so you need to acknowledge that and to know that you are special and others love you. So, and I love you. So have a great week. Make sure you really do some self-care. And I want to hear what you did. Let's put this out there as homework, okay? And I want you to report back to me. You can post here on YouTube or you can go to my Facebook page, which is Connect, then the number 2, Your Angels on Facebook. So facebook.com/connect2, the number, Your Angels, and you can post there and let me know how you did with the self-care challenge. All right, I want to really hear how that goes for you. And you can also send me an email directly to Spiritual Mailman, that's all one word, Spiritual Mailman at connect2, again the number 2, yourangels.com. And let me know if you found that hard. Was it not too bad? What did you, if you feel like sharing, I would love to know what you did for self-care. So that might give some great ideas for other people. So that's why I encourage you to share it on my Facebook page, because then we can get some interaction going. People can share ideas on what works for them and what they like and all that kind of stuff. So hop on over there if you haven't already. And if you haven't signed up for my free gift, you can go to my website, www.connect2yourangels.com, and just fill in the little form that's on the homepage. All right, so everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you all next week. Thanks.